But then when you start, well, obviously HeCTA was something different, and then
Yeah.
you make an album for Lambchop, and
Mhm.
you do have an audience. People know.
Yeah, yeah.
So is that in the back of your mind? What they might think?
You know, I mean, I appreciate that they're there and stuff, but as an artist, I really just have to keep moving forward. And I believe that if what I'm doing is honest and a good intent, that if people like what I do, they'll understand that this is simply just an extension and furthering of me being an artist, and hopefully they'll hang with it. If they don't, I get it, you know, I mean, that's fine, but nothing really can stand still for me as an artist.
Sure.
Everybody's different, you know. Other people, they're fine with that, you know, and I'm just not that dude, you know.
If you go through the record, are there even things that you are surprised with if you look back at it now?
Yeah, what I like about what's going on now is that I honestly think it's still in motion. It's still developing, because I'm not quite sure how. I do think it's already changing. You know, we're starting to play some shows now, and it's even changing from the record in a way, because the actual reality of playing together, and it's just changing. I mean, the record for the most part was created as in the studio in the box, and now we're out of the box and we have to see how that works. And things are morphing again in a really cool way, but a very Lambchoppy way. So I like that a lot. It's not like we're disregarding everything that we've been at all. We're actually finding a way to integrate what's new into what we already are.
Is that a difficult process to translate this kind of new direction into the live show?
It's exciting. It's difficult. I don't know. I mean, to me, I like that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think there probably will be some difficulties, but at the moment, I just see the pluses of it all.
Okay. And well, you mentioned lyrics and then hip hop, using maybe invented words and like. So what was your approach to the words this time? Was it different?
Well, yeah, I was trying out several different kinds of techniques or methods or approaches. You know, everything from just sort of being ultra wordy to being almost the opposite, where the words are, or they're just not even worth printing, which is kind of pretty new for me. But there's a spontaneity there that in the process, I'm letting the process influence the content. I'm not worrying about that so much. It's more about a feeling, an emotive thing that I've discovered. One of the cool things about processing a voice that I didn't expect was that it actually can be this soulful, emotive, expressive thing. It brings something out in your voice that I don't know. I never expected would happen. It's like magic. You know,
right. Yeah. What track on the album do you think your voice has come out very good in that sense?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Well, maybe one you're particularly happy with, or.
I like How.
Okay.
There's a song called How, and that's cool. But I mean, there's a song called JFK that's cool too. I mean, again, there's like different extremes of it.
Okay.
There's a song called Niv, which is like almost, it's almost like being in Guitar Center or something, and all this stuff's coming at you at one time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's like more wordy stuff, you know, like the first song on the record is almost the antithesis of that, because it's relentless in its verbosity, you know.
But in that sense, did the lyrics kind of come to you while listening to the music, or did you already have certain ideas?
I had lyrics, you know, scattered around. Yeah, over the course of, you know, I write stuff down, and so I was drawing from all kinds of things, experience, stuff that had already been, you know, notated. I was looking all over for it, and it was exciting because I'd stopped worrying about it making sense so much.
Okay.
That eventually, to me, it will be okay, it will make sense, or somehow express, you'll get a feeling out of it, and you'll leave the listening process with having felt something.
Good. I wrote a couple of lines down. Maybe we can go through. But for instance, in the title track, FLOTUS, kings they are no longer, and officials are not the same. I wondered where that line came from.
My crazy mind. Yeah.
But well, maybe then now looking back at that line, does it have a certain meaning for you?
Oh, of course. I mean, at this point, you can relate it to what's going on politically.
Right. But so it wasn't thought of before to tackle this subject, so to say?
That was sort of a culmination of a lot of things, and that was the thing that I found that was I could tie, the varied things. It seemed to, because for me, politics is, my life is about, what I do as an artist is I just simply reflect and absorb and redirect experiences that happen around me. I'll sit on the porch, some minor event will come, a bird will fly by or whatever, and it enters into, it's nothing fantastic, but I relate to the things that are around me in my life. And of course, one of the things that's happened in my life that's been significant is my wife has become more and more involved in politics to the point where it's remarkable. And so that's a major thing that's happened in my life, but I'm not necessarily so much a political person in her way. Right. And I decided that my role should be a supportive one, because she's happy. She's never, this is the best job she's ever had. She was like almost born to do it or whatever. And it's fantastic, and I want to be supportive of that. And so in thinking about, those kind of issues, and this was a record I wanted to make that I thought she might like, and also it's all sort of getting tied together in the fact that I'm basically just wanted to make a record my wife would dig, and of course her world is that's a way of referring to it. Right.
But I assume she's heard the album, so what did she think?
Well, at first she hated it.
Okay.
It was like, she just likes the way my voice sounds.
Okay.
Naturally. And I was like, whoa, I'm kind of fucked up there. Now she understands, I think, a little better, and I think it just took her a while to understand that, yeah, I'm still there. But she just really disliked my voice the way it was. She didn't think it needed to be messed with. Okay.
Because I read this somewhere, but she is very much into music, right? Because she. Oh
yeah. I mean, she has a music background in that, and she used to work with Elektra Records in New York. And when she moved to Nashville, she started a record store and a punk rock venue, and that's where I met her.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts now then on the album? Because you say you kind of wrote it to please your wife.
Well, I mean. She didn't realize that was going on until probably pretty recently. And that may or may not have influenced how she's feeling about it in general. But yeah, I mean, I think she's touched that, I thought of that,
Okay. But for you, you prefer to stay away from the politics?
I liked my approach to the notion of politics is there's a way to, I think of politics as sort of a way to make life better for your fellow man, So the way to do that, for me personally, rather than contribute to a political party or a cause or something like that, is to act directly in almost a hyper-local way. So if your friend needs help, your friend's lost his job, he's about to be fucking homeless because, for whatever reason, or they get sick or something like that. So you support them in that way, and you try to affect somebody's life that you know, or somebody that maybe even you don't know, but maybe needs help. So you're trying to better things in that way. I just think for me, it's a better approach to this more abstract notion of politics, being able to actually make things better. I get a sense that maybe it is, maybe it won't, but I'd rather see the results directly, you know, and I feel better that I actually did something good as opposed to, well, maybe something will go happen eventually.
Right. What is one of the best reactions you had then to your music or one of your songs?
Best reactions? To like this new stuff?
No, anything, because you say you like to have a kind of a direct impact on.
Well, not musically. I'm just talking about politically. This is my notion of personal politics. Let's just call it that. And it's about direct. You know, it's sort of like this slogan: think globally, act locally.
Right.
I hate slogans like that, but it does make sort of describe what I'm talking about, which is like making an impact directly with somebody and using what limited resources I have to help somebody in a way that's actually going to happen.
So it's not necessarily through your music, but.
Well, through my music, that's art. That's not. I'm not a political musician in that way.
No, but even in the sense that, because music is important to people, then it can have an effect on them. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't think of it as. I just think of it as music. It's like it's just music. It's not. It's not the Bible. It's not. You know, it's something to be. It's not made to. It shouldn't be anything more than what it is, which can be different for everybody. So some people actually, it's a big part of their life, and it can save their life or something like that. For other people, it's simply noise in the background at a restaurant or coming off their phone. You know. Right.
Finally, then, the album is called FLOTUS.
Yeah.
When in the process did the title pop up?
It was fairly later because I sat back and now, you know, I was sort of trying to sort of, what is the thing that can unify these things in a way, and I just started thinking about all the things we've discussed.
Right.
And so it was later in the process, and it was also about finding, I paint pictures, and I'm finding the appropriate image, and it's a painting of my wife with Obama's hand on her shoulder. So she got a chance to meet him and gifted the photo with the president, but they won't allow you to use it for a record cover. So I had to make a painting that was cropped subtly, and actually I like that better. You know.
Because obviously there is that acronym, First Lady of the United States. But then I believe you also gave it the name For Love Often Turns.
For Love Often Turns Us Still.
Right.
Yeah. So which means that after 20 years of marriage, you know, there's still surprises. There's still stuff to be enjoyed, and maybe, you know, it's just remarkable. You know, it's something you don't realize when you first get married. That things get better in ways that you didn't expect. You know, I mean, how can you? You're a young person when you get married, and now I'm old. But yeah, so I'm just the notion of being supportive and caring about somebody, making a record for somebody you love, rather than just writing a song or whatever. This is like this whole thing. It all just seemed to come together just by taking a look. Well, where am I at now? Where am I at? Well, that's where I'm at. I mean.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cool.